It's the day after. I'm Gerald Brown. You see me? I'm in my Knicks gear. Shh, don't tell nobody. I'm inside the building. But it's the day after. And I got to say, first and foremost, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope your day was beautiful. And all the parent and the kids of these parents and mothers, just remember Father's Day also, but also too, every day should be Mother's Day. But here's my question and concern that I have the day after. You know, the Knicks went on and moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And my question is, do I want this Knicks team to stay sharp and hope that the Pistons and Cavs series is wrapped up real fast and then the Knicks and them get it on? Or do I want that time off for OG Anunoby and some of the others, Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart? Both guys encountered some injuries in game 4 to kind of heal up as best possible so they could be as strong as possible for the next showdown to get to the NBA Finals. That's where my dilemma is at, because I know that conventional wisdom would say you want to take this time off, like I mentioned, for guys to get healthy. But the way the Knicks have been playing, 7 games in a row, they have been sharp and they've been unbelievable. Or do you want them to just have this time off? That's the biggest dilemma. Another thing that I'm going to make, one of my comments I'm going to make, let's give some credit to Mike Brown. Salute to Mike Brown, because he had the wherewithal to basically be in a space. He was either suggested by his coaching staff, but the decision to implement Karl Anthony Towns as AKA the facilitator in that Knicks half-court offense has been something that's been phenomenal. Now, granted, you saw the Sixers in game 2 make an adjustment. Instead of putting a big on him, they put Paul George, and we saw that obviously that kept him in the game. It was a little confusing. But to have Mike Brown implement this and put that as a focus at this late juncture of the season, many other people would have just said, look, we're going to go down doing what I believe. I says that's a lot, and give kudos to Mike Brown and that decision to implement Karl Anthony Towns as a sort of facilitator. And look, now he had 10 assists yesterday, 8 in the first quarter, first half. It was all Knicks from the start to the finish. But I got to give him a salute in making that decision. But as I said before, my question to you is, do you want the Knicks to be able to space where they don't have too much time off and get right back out there and start working? Or do you allow them to be able to get some rest and be able to heal up? But understand, rest can turn into rust as guys are sitting back, waiting, all that stuff. It's very hard to replicate what you do in a regular season game or a postseason game in practice. And obviously, these guys are creatures of habits. You know, creatures of habit don't want too much time off, and having all this time off, you tend to get lax. So it'll be really interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, obviously, they can't do nothing about it if the Cavs and Pistons really continue to battle it out. Speaking about battling it out, let's give some credit and kudos to the Minnesota Timberwolves and Chris Finch. Now, granted, Victor Wembanyama goes out the game with the elbow that was thrown against Naz Reid. You had to let him go. But at the end of the day, the Minnesota Timberwolves really battled. They fought, and now they've evened that series up. And however this series is going to play out, right, I'm already thinking that it's going to be the Spurs moving on to face the Oklahoma City Thunder. You got to give some credit to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But now my question becomes, where do they go from here to improve this team and continuing to take that next step? Remember, they've been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. And now you're on the verge of possibly going out in the semis. How do you continue that trajectory of onward and upward? That is something that bears watching. But make no mistake, kudos to Chris Finch and that Minnesota Timberwolves team for finding a way to tie this series up and extend it. I wish I could say the same thing about the Lakers, but as I tape this today, the day after, you know, the Lakers and Thunder do battle in LA, and I could hear in the distant background Luther Vandross song playing. It's over now. Ooh, 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 it's over now. It's been a great off season. It's been a great season. And now the question will become, do you want LeBron James back in purple and gold? Or is LeBron James a value commodity to a team, perhaps in the Eastern Conference? I don't know. Cavaliers make the decision what they'll do. And before I close out, let me just say this, man. I'm tired of this whole thing with James Harden. James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers, this is what needs to be done. There's no more excuses to be made about James Harden and his ability, okay? James Harden has yet to have that signature moment. Don't give me that 9 points in the fourth quarter. I don't know. James Harden has turned the ball over. James Harden has not looked sharp. And I want this to be clear. There's a certain thing in terms of guys that could play great in the regular season, but they don't have those signature moments come the postseason. That is the challenging part when I look at James Harden, especially at this stage of his career. Hey, I might have to agree with Sam Presti way back when the decision was not to overpay James Harden and put that money into Serge Ibaka, because clearly evident, the more and more you look at James Harden, especially when it comes to the postseason, he might be a bench player. And at the end of the day, that's not a bad thing at all. And then as far as Donovan Mitchell with the Cleveland Cavaliers, listen, Kobe Altman has done an unbelievable job. But why not just move Donovan Mitchell to the point guard? Because realistically, that's what he is. A point guard. Yes, he can score. He do all these things. But if the Cavaliers are going to be able to change their trajectory moving forward, you might have to make some tough decisions. There's been rumblings that Donovan doesn't want to be there, and that's okay. But wherever he goes, it looks more and more like he's more of a point guard and should be a point guard than this undersized two guard that's a phenomenal scorer. It just doesn't move the needle when it matters. It's the day after. I'm Gerald Brown. Don't tell anybody. I'm inside the garden. I'm getting in here for the Eastern Conference Finals.